bright spotlights swept across a large stage at a famous television studio in Beijing. That night, the air was warm, mixed with the hustle and bustle of the crew, who were busy making sure every detail of the event went perfectly. The evening was not just an ordinary event. It was a recording of a popular variety show that often brought together young stars with interactions that captivated the audience. Behind the stage, Zhao Jinmai sat on her dressing chair. She looked at herself in the mirror, a young girl with a natural aura, clear round eyes, and a smile that often couldn't be hidden. Although still young, Zhao Jinmai is already known as one of the talented actresses with a career that continues to climb. That night, she wore a simple dress in pastel colors that gave the impression of being soft and elegant at the same time. However, behind a smile polished with a thin pink lipstick, her heart was beating faster than usual. Because he knew who would be the other guest in the event. Zhang Linghe. Zhang Linghe, a rising young actor, has a charisma that is hard to ignore. His face was firm, his eyes sharp but shady, and his little smile seemed able to melt the heart of anyone who saw. Jinmai has often heard his name touted by fans as the new drama prince. He himself has watched the drama starring Linghe several times, although he has never publicly admitted it. That day was the first time they met in person, not just looking through a screen. "My, time to get ready. You are the first to enter the stage," said a crew member, awakening him from his daydreams. Zhao Jinmai took a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. However, as soon as he stepped out of the waiting room, he accidentally saw a tall man in a neat white shirt talking to the host of the event, Zhang Linghe. Their gazes met in unison. For a moment, the world seemed to stop spinning. Linghe's eyes looked at him gently, and his lips involuntarily curled into a smile. Jinmai felt his face heat up. He turned his head to look at her, but his heart was pounding. That was the beginning of an unexpected feeling, a feeling that slowly made his heart melt and blossom. An electrifying look. The event began with the cheers of the audience. The main host introduces the guest stars one by one. When the name Zhao Jinmai was called, resounding applause filled the studio. Jinmai stepped onto the stage with a cheerful smile, greeting the audience while lowering his head slightly. Before long, it was Zhang Linghe's turn to be called. The crowd cheers louder, especially from the ranks of female fans. His figure loomed high, stepping calmly yet dignifiedly. As he sat on the prepared chair, right next to Jinmai, the atmosphere instantly changed. They were only a few inches apart, but Jinmai felt the space around him suddenly narrow. He could faintly smell the fresh perfume Linghe was wearing. His heart was beating, trying hard to keep his face looking calm. The host of the event began to ask light questions, making the atmosphere melt. However, the television camera managed to capture a small moment that made the audience cheer. Zhang Linghe's gaze that repeatedly glanced in Zhao Jinmai's direction. "You look so beautiful tonight," the host said. Jinmai's face turned red. He was about to reply politely, but suddenly Linghe's voice sounded, heavy yet warm. "Not just tonight. I think she always looks beautiful." A moment of study. The crowd shouted boisterously, some even cheering, "Kaya!" It's like watching a romantic drama. Jinmai was transfixed. His cheeks were heating up, and he didn't know how to respond. He looked down, pretending to laugh a little, even though his heart was about to explode. Those simple words, spoken in a calm tone, actually made his heart melt instantly. Linghe's sincere gaze pierced through his defense, making him feel as if there were only the two of them in the room. "Have you guys met before?" asked the host, still flirting. Jinmai hurriedly shook his head. "Not yet. It's the first time." Linghe smiled faintly, adding, "But it feels like I've known you for a long time." Once again, the crowd cheers. Jinmai could only help but smile, but in his heart, delicate flowers began to bloom. He never expected that, just from a look and a small word, a Zhang Linghe would be able to shake his heart so deeply. Unforgettable little interactions. The event continues with a variety of interactive games. One of the segments requires guests to work together on a challenge. Coincidentally, the first couple chosen were Zhang Linghe and Zhao Jinmai. Is this a coincidence, or is it fate? The host chirps, making the audience cheer happily. The game is simple. They have to guess the word through body cues. Jinmai signaled, Linghe guessed. As the game began, Jinmai tried hard to demonstrate the words given, while Linghe looked at her seriously, his eyes never escaping from the girl's body movements. Several times they failed, and Jinmai laughed in pieces, while Linghe only shook his head with an embarrassed smile. However, every time Jinmai smiled or laughed, Linghe looked fascinated. There was one moment when Jinmai almost fell when he was too excited to demonstrate the movement. Reflexively, Linghe reached out and caught him quickly. The two of their bodies were so close. Their faces were only inches apart. Jinmai could feel the warmth of his breath, while Linghe looked at him fixedly, as if time had stopped. "Are you okay?" asked Linghe slowly. "Bogged, fine," Jinmai replied, stammering, hurriedly taking a step back while looking down. The audience cheered again, and even some of the hosts teased. "Wow, the chemistry is so strong. It's supposed to be a drama." Jinmai could only smile shyly, while Linghe kept looking at him with a gentle look that made his heart tremble even more. Throughout the event, little by little interactions continued to occur. Hands that almost touched, looks that were difficult to be diverted, to smiles that never left their faces. All of that, though simple, left a deep mark in Jinmai's heart. And that night, when the show ended, he realized that he began to feel something different. Something that makes her heart melt, and slowly blossom. That night, after the recording of the show was over, all the crew and invited guests were busy cleaning up the equipment. The guests prepared to leave the studio. Zhao Jinmai walked slowly towards the waiting room while hugging a small folder containing his manuscripts and personal notes. However, his steps stopped when he heard someone's voice from behind. "Zhao Jinmai." He turned around. Zhang Linghe stood there, still wearing a white shirt that made him look so clean and charming. In his hand, he held an unopened bottle of mineral water. "You seem tired. Want a drink?" he asked, holding up the bottle. Jimmy was silent for a moment. It seemed simple, but that little attention made his heart beat faster. He grabbed the bottle with his slightly trembling hand. "Thank you." Linghe smiled faintly. "You were great on the show. I know guessing games are hard, but you bring the atmosphere to life. Your smile makes everyone happy." Jinmai's face heated up again. He looked away, trying to hide his nervousness. "I'm just trying to enjoy the show. Otherwise, it will definitely feel awkward." "But it's different," Linghe added in a low voice. "Your smile has something soothing." It was a gentle stroke to Jinmai's heart. He held the water bottle tighter, trying to hold back the smile that wanted to bloom just like that. Then he asked himself, is this a sign, or is it a sign? At that moment, Jinmai began to realize that Linghe's own smile also had a secret. There was a sincerity that anyone could fall in love with unknowingly.